Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. No, this is not a plant channel. I just happened to be on a plant kick because I was in the process of getting things ready and sending them off to my sister, who's finally ready to have some of her plants back and some of the ones that I have enough of to share with her. I actually was getting on here to record this to ask, is there anybody out there who knows what is up with the jade? So I think I mentioned this in an earlier video, but I took these cuttings I want to say a year or two ago with from a plant that was it was like thick like this one. That's not thick, but like it was established like that. This one's kind of leggy. He's been up on the shelf. Both of these have been up on the shelf, so they didn't get as much sun. I guess that's the difference. So this is a study in learning as I go from experience, and apparently not doing any sort of like Googling and learning from other people's experiences for lack of time. And what happened was I cut them from this one that looked like this. Well, it was way bigger than this. It had like one of those woody trunks and all that. In fact, I'll show you what it came from. Nope, I lied. I won't. I sent it with my sister. That's how good my memory is. I literally did that yesterday and forgot that it's not in the house anymore. So my point is, it had a pretty thick stalk that was woody. It had branches off of it. There's a part of it that I thought I had in here. I think I must have sent with her. That like the top, whatever. Anyway, my point is, these are green. They don't have any redness on them. Their space between their growths, the thickness of their leaves, so they're a little bit more, I guess, what we always call leggy when we're talking about sprouts for gardening plants. So I don't know if that's the correct term. But the difference between these leaves, it almost looks like a totally different variety. And I don't think it is. I think the difference is that these guys were living up here on the shelf, so they never got direct sunlight. These guys got morning and afternoon and evening direct sunlight for the last 2 years, living in this windowsill. That's where he lived. He lived over here in the corner, so he didn't have a ton of it, but he had enough. And I would turn him every once in a while. But my point is, it's just interesting to look and notice the color of the leaves is so different. Oh, look, I forgot about this guy. I wonder if he's growing anything. Let's find out. Do we have any hairs? Can we see? We cannot see because we do not focus. And my eyes don't focus, so that's not... Yeah, he does. That's cool. So I don't know if he's going to actually grow a sprout out there, but he's definitely growing a root, so we're going to leave him there. Sorry if I disturbed you, buddy. Okay. So here's the thing that I had a question about, and maybe it's part to do with the sun. Maybe that's a big part of it. So when I trimmed them, they all had, they looked like this guy did. See how they were from the top that looked like this. So I would have cut it like about right there or less, like even there. And then I hardened it in this windowsill. So I laid it on the windowsill. Actually, some of them had curled at the top a little bit more than this because they hadn't been turned in their window. So they were like curling toward the sun. So they had a little bit of an arch to them, and then I cut them off. So they had about this much branch, but that was kind of a curved branch. So I put them in the windowsill, and what I ended up doing is leaving them there for several weeks so that they would grow, or so that they would heal over. And then I saw them grow like this guy has. I don't know if you can see that little bitty air root. They ended up with a couple of air roots coming out of the last bit of the part before the last bit of the part before the last bit of branch. And And I was like, that's kind of cool. Maybe they're ready to go in the dirt. So, but by that point, they had already grown these extra 4 leaves out the top. So it had new growth, but the new growth was turning toward the sun even more. So what I ended up with was these little U-shaped, with hairs, focus, with hairs coming out the bottom of the U and off to the side. So what I ended up doing was putting those in the dirt and letting them continue to go up. And I figured that the stuff that wasn't, I mean, I didn't put them in the dirt. I just put the roots going down and let them go into the dirt on their own. Thankfully, I didn't actually shove them in the dirt because I probably would have killed them. But these guys, I was expecting this part to die. And I guess that would be this part on this one. And it didn't. Instead, it thrived. And what I want to know is, does anybody know why this one has the same size stem it always did here, this part? And this one had that same size stem before when I first cut it. And now it's a swollen stem. And it's throwing hairs out the side. That's new in the last probably 3 months. And the fatness of it, the little stem had gone from that size to that size. What's up with that? Is it about to produce? Let's turn it around and see if there's any evidence of anything. There's just hairs in there. See that hair? Nope. Yep, see that hair? So he's throwing off air roots. Is he going to put a baby out the side here? A stem? Is that why it's getting fat? Like, what's happening there? What's up with that? I mean, I'm not fussing about it at all. I'm just curious. Anyway, I still turn them. Like this, guys, there were the 4 that were over here in the window. I'll turn them every couple of, whenever I see, like I'll leave him in the window like this with this, where it goes that way. And then eventually he'll either straighten out if you do it quickly enough. If you just start to see it turn them, then you straighten it out. Like these guys. They're going to live in the kitchen window, so we're going to see what happens with them. Not there. I just wanted to do this all together in the bathroom. But you can see how he's kind of turning toward that way. So what I would do is put it this way so that the sun, when it comes through the window, it'll turn itself back that way. It'll be interesting to watch how they go from how skinny they are here, where this guy is skinny and he's very leggy, to see what happens with a little bit of sun in the kitchen window. They don't get nearly as much as this guy does here in this window. But I was just curious if anybody knows about that. Like, why does it get fat? Why does it do the thing? And why are these guys so happy in this window? Again, not complaining, just curious. And is it going to get so long that it pulls itself out of the dirt? If so, should I cut him back here or back there and then let that sit in the dirt and see if it grows, see if it grows like a jade and grows 2 branches, and then see if this guy continues to thrive, or would that be killing it? I think this one no, he just has a dead leaf there. He doesn't actually have any hair. But he's happy. I turn these guys every once in a while too, from one side of the window to the other. Like I'll flip it around so it's hanging on the other side, so it gets a different sunlight situation. And these guys, I noticed, these little ones, they have definitely grown some since I put them in there in the fall or the December. I think it was, maybe it wasn't December. I don't remember when it was. But this part right here is new growth out there. And I think there's even some in there that are new. I think that little bitty baby might be new. It's kind of fun. Yeah. Anyway, if anybody knows, let me know. All right. Guys, live love.